Hello my wonderful weasels, welcome back to the Game Cave. We are actually going to be playing Mount and Blade Perisno Mod. And I've actually made one of these videos before, but that was with the old Perisno version. If I remember correctly, that was Perisno 0.73 or something in that area. And well, I've upgraded to the latest, and because of that, I'm not able to continue on the playthrough through my that I started last time. So it'll be from the beginning, from scratch, from the start. And well, it's just as well. I've played a little bit with the Perisno mod since then, and learned a few things about how to, well, what to do and what not to do, and a little bit more. So it'll probably be a little bit easier for me to get an interesting playtime now that I know a little bit about it. So let's just say play Perisno. And we'll start up by setting what kind of person we are here. And I have chosen to just read everything in this game. There is a lot of text in this game. And I've never really bothered to read it, but I think it might give something if you actually read it. So I am just going to do it, and if you don't like that, well, let me know in the comments if it gets too boring. But that's what I've decided to do here. So, welcome adventurer to Perisno, where elves roam in the forest, dragons lurk in the stories told, and the vast lands reach far and near. There are many major factions fighting to control territory, while the minor factions are out to cause trouble and wreak havoc among the people. You have been chosen to rise to greatness, to find your destiny. Enter, warrior, the world of Perisno, where you might never return. So, let's continue. And I'm gonna leave the fog of war enabled. And I have actually chosen to be a female this time. Usually I play a male because that's what I am, and but in Mount and Blade I like to play a female because it's a little bit tougher to get recognized, and it feels so much better when you overcome the not racism, but the sexism. I guess it is in this old tiny world here. So I'm going to be Weasel Bantress, or if that's a word, I don't know if that's a word. So. And I'm going to be Elven because I am a sucker for archery, and I guess that elves are better at that. So, my father, you were born years ago in a land far away. Your father was a veteran warrior. As a child, your family scrabbled out of a meager living from your father's wages as a guardsman to the local lord. It was not an easy existence, and you were too poor to get much of an education. You learned mainly how to defend yourselves on the streets, with or without a weapon in hand. You started to learn about the world almost as soon as you could walk and talk. You spent your early life as a page at a nobleman's court. As a girl growing out of childhood, you were sent to live in the court of one of the nobles in the land. There, your first lessons were in humility, as you waited upon the lords and the ladies of the household. But from there, chess games, their gossip, even the poetry of great deeds and courtly love, you quickly began to learn about the adult world of conflict and competition. You also learned from the rough games of the other children, who battered at each other with sticks in imitation of their elders' swords. Then, as a young adult, life changed as it always does. You became, and then I became a smith. Though the distinction felt sudden to you, somewhere along the way you had become a woman, and the whole world seemed to change around you. You pursued a career as a smith, crafting items of function and beauty out of simple metal. As time wore on, you became a master of your trade, and fine work started to fetch fine prices. With food in your belly and logs on your fire, you could take pride in your work and your growing reputation. But soon, everything changed, and you decided to strike out on your own as an adventurer. What made you take this decision was... And usually I take personal revenge because that gives you some statistics, but just to get into this, the feel of this, then I think that Wanderlust would be good. So, what is the last inheritance you chose to take with you as you start your legend? And that is definitely going to be the great bow of my father and its large quiver of arrows. I like that. So, only you know exactly what caused you to give up your old life and become an adventurer. You're not even sure when your home became a prison, when the familiar became the mundane, but your dreams of wandering have taken over your life. Whether you yearn for some faraway place, or merely for the open road and the freedom to travel, you could no longer bear to stay in the same place. You simply went and never looked back. Yes. And I'm just going to do this and set up here. And I don't know if this is a word, but I'm going to call myself Weasel Bantress, because I am a woman. And I usually level up Iron Flesh and Power Strike as much as possible at the first tier, because it gives you more hit points and you become stronger. So, yeah. And Power Draw is up right here. Riding is also up, so Horse Archery would be something that would be good, I feel. And Athletics also. That's how fast you run. Yeah, Archery all the way up with that, and yeah. Yes. And right off the bat, I've got to say that I feel that the female characters here is much better looking than the male characters here. But that might just be some bias thing, because I enjoy looking at females a little bit more than I enjoy looking at males. So, well, a lot more. So, yeah, I think this is good. Simple, yet something. Yeah, let us be an old woman. No. Yeah, let's be a young woman. Great. You hear about Perisno, a land torn between rival kingdoms, battling each other for supremacy, a haven for knights and mercenaries, cutthroats and adventurers, all willing to risk their lives in pursuit of fortune, power, or glory. In this land, which holds great dangers and even greater opportunities, you believe you may leave your past behind and start a new life. You feel that finally you hold the key of your destiny in your hands, free to choose as you will, and whatever course you take, great adventures will await you. Drawn by the stories you hear about Perisno and its kingdoms, I take a ship to Forniran in the Redwood Nation. You came by ship, skirting the cliffs where the elven woodlands meet the sea. Much of the coastline was obscured by tendrils of fog that snaked down the river valleys, but occasionally you caught a sight of a castle watchtower rising above the mists, and on one occasion a beacon fire burning to warn off an enemy warband. You knew that you were relatively safe at sea, as you were too far south to risk encountering the sea pirates who trouble the coast of the Macavian lands. But it was still a relief to reach the Silver estuary gateway to the port of Foniran, yeah, and see an elven warboat riding at anchor, its pennants fluttering in the evening breeze. You are exhausted by the time you find the inn in Foniran, and fall asleep quickly. However, you wake before dawn and are eager to explore your surroundings. You venture out into the streets, which are still deserted. All of a sudden, you hear a sound that stands the hair of your neck on end, the rasp of a blade sliding from its scabbard. And now we are here, in the forests. And immediately, we kill Merchant of Thoranion. Are you all right? Well, I guess you are alive at any rate. I'm not sure what we can say that we can say the same for the other fellow. That's one less thief to trouble our streets at night, although heaven knows he won't be the last. Anyway, maybe you can help me with something. Let's talk more inside. Out here, we don't know who's listening. The merchant takes you to his house. Once inside, he stands by the door for a while, checking the streets, and then finally convinced you have not been followed, comes near you to speak. And before we press continue here, I'm just gonna cover up my my bird. I have a little budgie, I think it's called. No, yeah, I think it's called budgie, and I usually cover his his cage when I do this, but so he doesn't talk. He has a thing where when I talk, he talks. So I'm just gonna cover him up real quick. He'll probably be a little angry now. Yeah, now that's taken care of. He likes to participate, but it's not something that most people enjoy listening to. So, onward, continue. Merchant of Foniran. Now, let me explain my proposition. We've always had brigands in the hills, driven to banditry by war, dead or love of violence. Recently, however, they've been getting bolder, leaving their camps in the wild and venturing into towns looking for unwary prey. The watch commander tells us it's because of all the fighting in the frontiers. Fewer men to keep an eye on the streets, but I'm not sure what to make of it. It seems to me that the most logical explanation is that these bandits have an ally inside the walls, who helps them enter unnoticed and helps them identify particularly tempting targets. Last week, you see, they took my brother. I don't know what my brother was thinking. A lad from a prominent house, out alone after dark in times like these. Well, I suppose you were too, but you're a stranger here and didn't know how bad things have become. He had no such excuse. But he's family, so what can you do? If you don't protect your kin, then people will start thinking that you can't protect your investments either. And I can't have that. No doubt the gang will soon send word about a ransom, but I don't care to pay it. So, here's my proposition. You look like you've had a bit of experience with the blade, and more importantly, you must have a bit of a fire in your belly, or you wouldn't be coming to Perisno to seek your fortune. So, here's what I'm asking you to do. Gather a small party, track down these bandits to their lair, teach them a lesson they won't forget, and get my brother back safe. In return, you'll earn my lasting gratitude and a bit of silver. What do you say? I'm interested. You won't be able to do this by yourself. Though, if you try and take on a whole gang single-handedly, the hunter will become the hunted, I'll warrant. You'll first want to round up a group of volunteers. There's always a few lads in the villages around here, looking for a bit of work that's more interesting than tiling to the soil or hauling water. They'll follow you if you pay. So, take this purse of 100 orums, consider it an advance on your reward. Go round to the villages and use the money to hire some help. I reckon that you need at least 5 men to take on these bandits. Very good, sir. I'll go collect some men from around the villages. Good. You can find me again in the tavern here in Foniran after you've got a group together. Then we'll speak about what we do next. Yes. So, let's just see if there's a small village over there. Perhaps we can get some lads to follow us there. Yes. 3 Elvari recruits volunteer. Yes. And let's just see if we can find another small village here where we can get some more men. And if I'm not much mistaken, these Bluewood fellows here are at war with the Redwood nation, and that's why they are following me and want to kill me. So, we've got that going on, as well as the kidnappers. Yeah, so there's a castle and there is a small village. Recruit volunteers. 1. Alrighty then. Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna go to. I'm just gonna go to this town here and visit the tavern to see if someone here will follow me. Do you have a need for mercenaries, madam? Me and 2 of my mates are looking for a master. We'll join you for 1,602 orums. Alright, I will hire all of you. Great. Sidethon. Okay. Hello, I'm Weasel Bandits. Who are you? I am a blue wood elf. I long for the destruction of the vile scum of redwood elves. They have committed atrocities against us. That are unspeakable. The thought of elves disgusts me. Nope. I agree. I am a blue wood elf. My ancestors were once the dominant elf clan, but the time is once gone. We are now pushed aside, ruled by our enemies, the cruel, savage redwood elves. Too bad. I dislike elves regardless. Okay, I don't know. What? I will help you defeat the red... Okay. That's not what... Okay. Okay, I'm not gonna talk to him, because I like the redwood elves here. So, there is the merchant. Hello. Splendid work! You have hired enough men to take on the bandits now. Now, travelers entering Forneran have told us that there is a small group of robbers lurking on the outside of town. I suspect that they are all from the same band, the one that took my brother. Hunt them down and defeat them and make them disclose the location of their lair. Very well. Yes. Where could they be? A group of bandits. So, which of these would it be? There they are. Band of robbers. Band of robots. We are all named Robert. Right. What do you want? I've been looking for you. Tell me where you keep your prisoners and I'll let you go. Ha! Those prisoners are only going free if you pay their ransom. Did you bring any silver? No, but I brought steel. Charge the enemy. Yeah. And let's just see if I can't take on these guys myself. That would give me the most experience, and that means that I would level up faster. Come on. Yeah. Yes. Now, where is the other one? It's dark. There he is. Yeah. Awesome. I think that was that. Yeah. Continue. Hey! Spare me! Spare my life! Let me go and I'll go forever. Go far away from here and learn an honest trade and you'll never hear of me again. I'll spare your life, but in exchange I want information. Either you or your mates kidnapped the brother of a prominent merchant in the town. Tell me where you are hiding him and give me your word that you'll stop troubling the people of these parts, and you can go free. Oh, bless me, my lady, bless you! Bless you, my lady, bless you. We've done the lad no harm. We've been keeping him in our hideout near Ruldi. I'll describe the area nearby in detail so there's no mistaking it. Great. And let's just take all of this. It might be worth a few coins. And yeah. Let's go back to Forneran. Yeah. And visit the tavern. And talk to the merchant. There you are. Hello. So, you found out where they hid my brother? Splendid work! I flatter myself that I'm a fine judge of character, and you look to be a woman who can get things done. Now, go out and save his unworthy hide. Very well, I will. I go now to attack the bandits in their lair and find your brother. Awesome. Let's just sell items automatically. Continue. Awesome. And Kidnapper's hideout is over there. Let's just make sure that we... Oh, one thing I would like to do here is to change the quick save to F5 and done, and then do a quick save here. Awesome. Kidnapper's hideout. Let's just go in there. You approach the hideout. The robbers don't appear to have spotted you yet, and you could still sneak away unnoticed. The difficult approach to the site down a narrow defile means that only a handful of troops in your party will be able to join the attack, and they will be unable to bring their horses. If your initial attack fails, the robbers will easily be able to make their escape and disperse. Do you wish to attack the hideout or wait for another occasion? I wish to leave right now because I would like to put my best folk up here. Yeah. Because the farther up you are, the first to get into battle. So, attack the hideout. Yes. And we approach. We can't see any of... There you are. You're gonna get dead. If I can only seem to hit what I am aiming at. Yeah, that helped a lot. Come on. Yes. Yeah, just like that. Great. Let's get a little closer. Okay, he was dead before I shot. But it's good that I have some some capable men with me here. Yes. And you are also gonna get dead. Throwing rocks. Come on. Seriously. Shoot him. Yeah, just like that. Whoa. Oh. Ah, okay. That was the brother. Okay. Okay. He said something to me and then I respond. Yes, I told them that I would find you. I advise you to return to your family as quickly as you can and be careful on the road. With their retreat cut off, the robbers fall one by one to your determined attack. Their hideout and their ill-gotten gains is now yours. So, access the items on the ground. It's not much, but it'll do. It'll do, pig. It'll do. Yes. Leave the items. Yeah. Okay. Then go back to... Not him, not him. No. Eagle Knights. No, they look to be a little bit too, well, battle-hardened and otherwise intimidating for me to get near them. Yeah. So, hello. Well, my brother is home safe, and I'm not sure what to do with him. Maybe pack him off to a university outside Perisno. That way, if he gets knocked on the head in a street brawl, no one can say it's my fault. But that's not your problem. Here's the rest of your reward. It's well earned. The money is most welcome, and I'm glad to have been of service. Good. Now, are you interested in making some more? Possibly. What do you want? Remember how I told you that the bandits had an ally inside the walls? I think I now know who it is. The captain of the watch, no less. Some months ago, this captain, seeing the amount of profit we merchants were making from trade across the frontiers, decided to borrow some money to sponsor a caravan. Unfortunately, like many who are new to commerce, he failed to realize that great profit only comes with great risk, so he sank all his money into the most expensive commodities, and of course, his caravan was captured and looted, and he lost everything. As a consequence, it seems, our captain turned to villainy to recoup his fortune. I suppose I'd do the same if, the heavens forbid, I ever faced indebtedness and ruination. Now, any watch captain worth his salary will have a few thieves and robbers on his payroll to inform on the rest, but our captain decides to employ these bastards wholesale. He brings them into town, lets them do as they will, and take a share of the take. You've heard of poachers turning gamekeepers. Well, in the unfortunate land of Perisno, sometimes gamekeepers will turn poacher. Luckily, there are still a few brave, honest souls in the watch who've told me how he works. Now, here's my plan. I could bring this to the attention of the Queen, but that would mean an inquiry. My word against the captains, and witnesses can be bought and evidence destroyed, or maybe the whole thing will be forgotten if the enemy comes across the border again, and all I'll get for my troubles is a knife in the ribs. In time of war, you see, a king's eyes wanders far from her domain, and her subjects suffer. So, I've got another idea. I've got a small group of townsfolk together, some men in my employ, and some others who've lost relatives to these bandits, and we'll storm the captain's home and bring him in chains before Queen Arlena, hopefully with a few captured bandits to explain how things stack up. All I need now is someone to lead my little army into battle, and I can't think of anyone better than you, so what do you say? How do I know that you're telling me the truth? Oh well, I suppose it's possible that I found a dozen bandits who were willing to give their lives to give a passing stranger a false impression of life in an old phony run. Well, I guess you can't really know if my word is good, but I reckon you've learned by now that money is good, and there's another 100 orums, or maybe a bit more, that's waiting for you if you'll do me this last little favor. So what do you say? All right, I'll lead your men. Splendid. It's been a long time since I staked so much on a single throw of the dice, and frankly, I find it exhilarating. My men are ready to move on your word. Are you ready? Yes. Give them the sign. Good. Now strike hard, strike fast, and the captain and his henchmen won't know what hit them. May the heavens be with you. You leave the tavern and go out into the streets. Nervous-looking young men are waiting on every street corner. You can see they have daggers and clubs concealed under their clothes, and catch a mixture of fear, anticipation, and pride in the quick looks they throw at you as you pass by. Praying that your enemies have not been alarmed by this all too obvious bunch of plotters, you check your weapons for one last time and prepare yourself for the action ahead. Yes.
I was born with a blade in my hand. Really?
It's time, lads! Up and at them! Okay. Okay. Come on. Yeah, just like that. You are gonna get shot at with arrows. I can't promise you that you'll be hit with arrows, but you'll be shot at nevertheless. Well, it did seem to hit some of you, so that's good. The remaining few bandits scatter off to the town's narrow alleys, only to be hunted down one by one by the angry townsfolk, making sure that your victory is complete and all the wounded have been taken care of. You and the merchant heads to his house to review the day's events. Ha! Well done! I saw at least 3 of the enemy go down before you. Keep fighting like that, and you'll make quite a name for yourself in this land. Unfortunately, about one of my lads got themselves wounded. I should go look on them. Let every villain learn to fear the name, Weasel Bantress. Yes. Now a couple of my boys have the watch captains pinned down in the back room, with a knife at his throat. I'll need to go drag him before Queen Alina, and explain what this breach of the peace is all about. You don't need to be part of that, though. I'll tell you what, if all goes well, I'll meet you in the tavern again shortly, and let you know how it all came out. If you don't see me in the tavern, but instead see my head on a spike over the city gate, I'll assume you know enough to stay out of town for a while and forget this whole episode ever happened. So, hopefully we'll meet again. Yeah. So let's go to the tavern. And there he is. With his head on his body instead of a pike. Ah, Weasel Bantress. Things didn't quite go so well as I had hoped. Queen Alina couldn't quite find it in her to overlook my little breach of the peace. Oh, she's grateful enough that I got rid of her crooked captain. A guard who'll let in bandits will let in an enemy army if the price is right. But she can't exactly have me running around here as a lasting reminder of her failure to take care of things herself. That hardly seems fair. Fair? This is Perisno, my girl. Kings do what they will, and the rest of us do as they must. She didn't string me up, and instead gave me time to sell my properties, even put a word in with the other merchants that they best pay me a fair price too. That's gracious enough as kings go, but she's a weak queen, as they all are here, and weak kings must always look to their authorities first and justice second. I suppose I'd do the same in her shoes. Anyway, I wouldn't go rubbing your part in this affair in Queen Alina's face, but she's taken note of you and decided that you're not worthy of hanging, and that's something to which I'll raise a glass any day of the week. She might even have work for you further down the road, or you can sell your spear to one of her competitors. Anyway, I hope you've learned a bit about what it will take to stay alive in this troubled land, and I suspect that the money you've earned won't go to waste. Good luck. So, that seems to be the first quest done here in Mount and Blade Perisno. And with that, I think I will say goodbye for this first episode, and I will see you in the next episode. I'm Weasel Bantress, or Weasel Bandit. Bye.